the stream just to see if we can get this thing going.
We better be able to get it.
Why?
Oh, I got a thing. Hold on, let's see. Which means hey, we're online. There's a URL.
Ring-a-dingy. Look at that.
It says live stream offline. Let me see. Refresh. Come on.
It does say offline.
Why is that?
I don't know. Oh, stop time. Trouble is then a bunch of people... Oh, now I think it might be working.
I think you end up with the same stream.
There you go. It's working now.
I see us.
Yeah, man.
All right.
So, you guys ready to do this thing here?
I'm telling people live right now. Interaction on YouTube with us, available.
In the
real
YouTubes.
humans.
I can't see the chat. I'm gonna have to move my window. Dave from Buffalo is in the chat.
All right. Welcome, Dave. Dave recently, he sort of revealed that he's the brains behind the Fire Escape arcade raid.
Oh, really?
Doc, do you have a Fire Escape in your collection?
I do not.
Are you aware of that particular game?
already? Are you interviewing him already? You just shut your mouth.
Hey, we just had Dave show up, so I'm like, come on.
You shut your mouth.
Ha!
Made me play all those songs.
You're gonna love it.
I just want to have a disclaimer here at the beginning of the show. I had nothing to do with 8 of the 10 songs that were picked.
They're classics.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I apologize in advance to Casey and Dolly.
No, you were condescending like this when I did Doc Brown impressions during my segment.
Yeah. Well, hey,
Yeah.
I got some new cassette tapes here. I'm just gonna,
What?
I think I might play like a little bit of this clip for our guest Ryan if he comes on here.
Live from KOYR Studios in Minneapolis, Minnesota, this is Arcade Radio. Intruder alert, intruder alert.
Hello and welcome to Season 2, Episode 23 of the Arcade Radio Podcast. Today is Thursday, July 26, 2018, and the time is now approximately 7:22 p.m. Central. Thanks for joining us in the Arcadosphere. This is your host, Adam, the antagonist. I'm joined by Mark, Time Runner Shields, and the guest host of Radio Arcade, whatever we call this show this week, is Doc Mack. Welcome to Arcade Radio.
Hey, thanks for having me.
It's good to have you on. You may want to move just a tad closer so the audience can hear you. But this first part of the show, we talk a little bit about what we've been working on in the hobby. Mark, why don't you kick us off?
Okay, I'm summarizing everything. Yesterday, I got a Mispack and an Asteroids arcade cabinet that were Hurricane Harvey survivors for free.
What?
Yep, the boards work.
What?
Yep. It's funny, why did they decide to make a base out of particle board versus plywood? I'm like, you should always make your base out of plywood.
Yeah. Well, or plastic, for crying out loud.
Oh well, yeah. I
Like
mean,
a
it's the
Duramold?
'80s. I'm just gonna give them the benefit of the doubt on that one.
That's probably why they did Duramolds, Tired of getting cabinets getting wet.
That's good. That's a good point there.
Plus,
Anyway,
plus you can turn it into a canoe.
I don't know about that. Maybe. I've never had a full size Duramold, so that's kind of fun. I have a Mispack for sale. I'm selling it. Every time somebody says, "Is that an LCD in there?" I'm like, "Hey, look over there." And then I'm restoring my Tron and Star Castle control panels.
I saw that Mispack, man.
Discovered that what?
I saw that Mispack, man.
Yeah. And
it's
those
not
control
original.
panels what?
It's not original.
Not original, no. Well, I took the 4900 out of it, which I'm going to put into a Pac-Man.
Okay, that's fair.
There's a lot of juggling going on. And my Super Joust is coming together. I have all the parts. I have the brown paint. And
Tonight's show brought to you by LaCroix.
Oh, that's good. Tonight's show brought to you by White Claw. Hard seltzer.
What are you drinking over there, Doc?
Ice Mountain.
Ice Mountain. Oh boy, we're gonna get hammered tonight.
No, this is just super low weight here.
I might have to go get a whiskey. I'm just kidding.
No, I'll be fine. So that's all I'm doing. What about you?
Me? I bought some balls.
Are they? What color are they?
They're orange.
Nice.
I like orange balls.
So four balls that are orange?
4 of them. They're candlepin bowling balls. You know why I bought
Sweet.
candlepin bowling balls, don't you?
To throw them at people?
Yes. Like a shot put. They are 4.5-inch candlepin bowling balls, which is what Atari used. They commissioned black ones for games like basketball, Atari football, and Missile Command. So I'm going to put 2 orange. I have orange T-molding on my football, on my Atari football. I'm going to put 2 orange candlepin bowling balls on either end instead of those big black balls. So my balls will be orange.
Nice.
They're very cool and swirly.
What are you going to do with the other 2?
The other Doc's like, this is not going the way I thought it was going to go.
Hey, they're candlepin bowling balls.
Candlepin bowling balls. So yeah, I think I might send one to you.
Yes, I'm going to send you some money for that.
All right, and then the other one I might stick into the Missile Command. I don't know. I'm thinking about buying a different color for Missile Command, but
Well, I appreciate it.
Yeah. So the other thing, I went to shall I say Scary Gary's or just Gary? Went to Gary's place up in White Bear, Stacy, Minnesota.
Why do they call him Scary Gary?
Yeah, because
Does he have a special closet for you to go inside of? Or?
Actually, he's very harmless. He's been on TV. Actually, he was on American Pickers with his brother. Do you remember that episode?
I did not.
Anyway, they used to operate amusements in the 70s and 80s, and so they have all these old amusement rides, and then they have tons and tons of trailers full of old arcade games that are.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of them are shot. They're gutted or they're missing parts or they've been converted. And then to top it off, you have to like dodge bees' nests and all kinds of fun things to get into the trailers. So at the end of our trip, though, there was an APB sitting there. I guess it's been there for a few years, so the bottom is not so good. But my APB, the marquee, has a crack in it, so I went halvesies with the guy. We bought it for $200. We're going to split the profits from selling the boards on eBay. He's taking the medium res monitor because his had more burn-in than that, and he's going to... So, it's like a $300 monitor. So he's pulling that out, and I get the control panel, the bezel, and the glass. And so I'm gonna take the best of mine and sell the rest of the stuff.
How deep was it inside of a trailer? Was it like
It wasn't.
super
It was like in this little hut at the
Oh.
front of the property, and it was wet. We had to climb through all kinds of weird, dark spaces. It was
Because I hear that's one of the things that make people not want to get a game because they have to move 30 games to get to the game that's in the back.
He's been working on that, so he's been putting lanes in the middle of the trailer. He'll carve out a lane all the way to the back, so now you can pull them out.
Beauty.
Yeah. So that's what I did last week. Doc, what do you got? What are you doing?
We just finished up Guerrilla War last week. That was our Monday mystery game.
Guerrilla War. Tell us about
yep.
that.
SNK from 1987. Was in pretty good shape. We picked it up out in Ohio and had it shipped in and didn't need too much. It was pretty much all our new stuff that we're working on. We usually just pretty much keep it a secret for the Monday mystery game. So.
Sweet. Now, tell us a little bit about the Monday mystery game. And first of all, everybody, this is Doc Mack, the proprietor of the Galloping Ghost Arcade is it Chicago?
Brookfield,
just outside
Illinois.
of Chicago, right? So you're north or south or west or east of Chicago?
West.
All right.
Yes.
All right. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. And we'll talk more about that in the show later. But tell us about the Monday mystery game.
So every Monday at 5 p.m., we put a new game on the arcade floor. We have a huge stream for it. A lot of the regulars come out.
Every Monday? Every single Monday?
For over 2 years. We've put a new game on the floor at 5 p.m.
You take one off then, right? You can't keep that up. You have 700 games out there.
Right now, we have a few off the floor until the expansion opens in less than a month. So anything that's off the floor now will be coming back. Otherwise, we try never to remove anything from the floor. Like we don't rotate stuff out. So
all right, I'm not going to ask any more about that because, well, I'm sure we'll ask about it a little later in the show. But that is really friggin' cool. Oh my gosh, a new game every Monday. Oh, can you imagine, Mark? My basement I'd be done in like 3 weeks. I'd be done.
Well, there's a lot of room in this facility. Wait, hey Doc, what's your official title? Like if somebody, like on your tax form, what do you put?
Arcade God.
Just arcade owner. It's difficult because there's so many. It's bigger than the arcade. There's a production company, the reproductions company, and the gym and martial arts school. So.
Oh, so cool.
So.
Jeez.
It's the Arcade News with Adam Stevens.
Hey, you jumped ahead. Whoa.
What?
Hold on.
What?
We haven't called Dan Reed to figure out what he's up to.
No, we don't need to call
Yes.
Dan Reed.
Yes, we do this. It's a tradition.
We just did the news bumper.
Oh.
Oh my
That thing
gosh.
is horrid. It's horrid. I can't imagine people are using it, but whatever.
I'm working on a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Goodbye.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that was
All right.
awesome. Are you kidding me?
That was great. Okay,
I
so
think
now
they're going to
on
think
to
we
your-
made that up. They're going to think we
No,
made that up.
That was real.
Okay, so a pop-up book is supposed to revive Sega's arcade glory days. A new book hopes to revive some of this is via newatlas.com. A new book hopes to revive some classic Sega arcade cabinets of yesteryear as pop-up paper sculptures. The project, titled Sega Arcade Pop-Up History, will feature some of the early 80s classics of game designer Yu Suzuki during his time at Sega's legendary AM2 division. Specifically, the games will include Hang On, Space Harrier, Outrun, Thunderblade, and Afterburner. I wonder if it's the environment one or if it's just the stand-up one. What do you think?
There's like so many afterburners.
I don't know. I don't know.
That's cool. So pop-up book of arcade games.
Apparently, the book is currently a quarter of the way towards its £40,000 or US $53,000 Kickstarter goal. The project is the work of video game history publisher Read Only Memory in collaboration with game writer Keith Stewart and paper engineer Helen Friel and illustrator Cam Tang.
Paper engineer. That's awesome.
There's a lot of tongue-twisting words in this news article, so I'm going to move on to the next one, which is you can now buy a retro-authentic Rampage arcade cabinet for just $300. This is from bloodydisgusting.com. Have you ever wanted to own a Rampage arcade cabinet? Well, probably not if you're Doc, because you already have one. And he's standing next to it in our ad on Arcade Radio's Facebook page. But thanks to the company Arcade 1-Up, you can now own your own Rampage, and it won't cost you as much money as you might expect. Now up for pre-order, Arcade 1-Up's retro arcade cabinets are selling for just $3.99 at most locations, though they're currently up for grabs from Walmart for just $2.99 each. Are these these super cheapened up things? Is that what they are? You know,
they're like little short cabinets where you need to sit down in front of it, and it's got an LCD. I mean, it's like they have those little small handheld ones, and they were like, you know what? We could make this 5 times bigger.
Crazy.
But use the same, whatever technology is in the little one and make it just.
Is there a picture of it?
What's that? There's a picture.
Okay, let me pull up the picture. Oh.
They're making 3 different ones, and it's legit. They're licensed.
Copy. So it's.
But if you're tall, it's going to be annoying. It's not like an. It's definitely not what I would call a real arcade experience.
Yeah, they remind me of those little Williams cabinets that came out a while ago. They're.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They ain't pretty. They probably get the job done. Actually, they look exactly like it. It's cheaper wood and probably cheaper components. That's really short.
Oh, who even knows if it's made out of wood?
If it's made out of plastic, we're in business. Right? I just threw it up on the chat here. I don't know if people can see it. Might be a little.
I see it. So that particular cabinet plays Rampage, Gauntlet, Joust, and Defender.
Interesting. Huh. Well,
it's funny because there's 3 sets of joysticks, but
wait a minute. 3 of those are Williams.
How do you play Defender with only 3 buttons or 2 buttons? I don't even know what's happening.
Rampage is Midway, right? And then Gauntlet is Atari, isn't it?
Yeah, they just licensed them and then stuck them in the same cabinet. So there's no honor for producer or
I don't like
originator.
I don't like it.
I don't like change.
No.
Go to Galloping Ghost for a real experience.
I'm channeling Dan.
That thing is horrid. It's horrid. I can't imagine people are using it, but whatever.
That's perfect clip for that.
Yeah.
I play that almost every show, but that's the perfect clip. Okay, so Switch has added a never-before-released Nintendo arcade game. This is from GameSpot.com. It's kind of interesting. It's another packed week of releases for Nintendo Switch. This sounds like propaganda to me. I don't know. Doc puts 365 new games in his arcade every year.
No, 52.
52.
52.
At least.
Oh, it's every week. Sorry,
yes.
Not every day.
No math for you, Adam.
No, that would be awesome, though. One every day. Oh, don't you have like a Tricky Tuesday or
what if Christmas comes on a Monday? What do you do then?
We're there. We put one up on Monday. We put one up on Christmas.
I love it.
Eve, we never close.
Really?
We're up 7 days a week.
Wow. 365 days a year?
365.
Do people come there on Christmas?
Yeah, it's funny. When we opened, people were kind of, how can you be open on Christmas? And now there's about 150 people that show up on Christmas.
Oh my gosh.
Sounds like a great way to celebrate Christmas.
I bet you Thanksgiving's the same way and all that. That's awesome.
New Year's, everything. Everybody's there.
Well, it beats going to the movie theater.
For sure. It's an amazing community behind the place, and there's so many people that travel in from out of state and out of the country, and
Wow.
It's surprising to see it just constantly grow. So
Interesting. Well, nearly 30 titles launched for the hybrid console this week, but one of the most intriguing is Sky Skipper. We did a show about this not too long ago with Whitney Roberts, is that right? And an exceptionally rare Nintendo arcade game that was never released in North America. Sky Skipper arrives on the Switch eShop as part of Hamster's Arcade Archives line, making this the first time that the arcade version has been officially released in the North American region. The game originally launched in Japan in 1981, the same year that Donkey Kong debuted. Nintendo distributed a handful of cabinets at test locations in North America, but according to the gaming legend, along with Polybius, it was poorly received, and the new game was scrapped.
No.
Okay, I inserted
Cat
that.
Aspera is whispering in your ear right now.
She did not invent that Polybius thing.
No, but she made a really good documentary, which I highly recommend.
Well, she's a guest in it.
Sure.
Right. She didn't.
She didn't make it?
No. We just played the clips of it on the show, I think.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, she was in it. Yeah. Anyhow.
Hey, Doc, is there a Sky Skipper at Galloping Ghost?
Sure you don't want to call...
No.
Oh.
Is there plans to have a Sky Skipper?
So far, no, but
never say never.
Never say never.
Is there a Hellifier at Galloping Ghost? Are there plans?
Now he's just jerking with you. He's just jerking.
Just checking.
It's the list changes so frequently. It's things become of interest, and then they're obsessed over and back down. And
is Galloping Ghost your floor and your warehouse? Like, you don't have a warehouse with games that aren't in use?
Oh, we have several.
Okay.
Several. We've got the vaults have about 260 games that we haven't added to the floor yet.
Wow.
So it's all stuff. We're just about to do this expansion, so most of them will be going over there.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have games pretty much in all of our buildings, just waiting to get over here.
Crazy, man. Crazy. Oh.
How much more room is there? Oh.
Back in '82, I used to be able to throw a pigskin a quarter mile.
Back to the cave with Time Runner.
Why are things so heavy in the future? Is there a problem with the Earth's gravitational pull?
There is a problem. Hello and welcome to Back to the Arcade. Today is July 26, 2018, and we're going back to July 26, 1984.
84.
Yes, Big Brother, the Mack, and all sorts of other stuff. The things that happened in 84, consoles, PCs.
Things that happened in 84.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. Okay, so, and I have a link on each of these that is intended to be background music, but if you can't get to them, that's okay.
Oh, yeah, you should warn me about that ahead of time.
Hey, Adam, every episode there will be a link with background music stuff.
Well, I just clicked on a link and it brought me to an article. That ain't...
Oh, no. What? No. The red links.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, so hey, in arcade news on July 26th, while Adam's pulling up the audio from this game, Namco released The Tower of Druaga? Am I getting it right?
Druaga?
Yes.
I call it Druaga myself.
Druaga? A precursor to the action role-playing game genre, maze-based role-playing arcade game, first game in the Babylonian Castle Saga series. I don't know what the hell. And inspired by Sumerian and Babylonian mythology, including the Epic of Gilgamesh and the Tower of Babel. I am not joking. It was conceived as a fantasy Pac-Man with combat, puzzle solving, and subtle role-playing elements. At one point, you get to hold a hot dog in your hand. The Tower of Druaga. It was a success in Japan. It attracted millions of fans.
You want me to read it for you?
You always think that you can read better than me. It largely began the trend of combining arcade-style action mechanics with RPG elements. One of the things that inspired was Legend of Zelda.
Really? Kind of, a little bit.
Hey, Doc, is there a tower in your collection?
There is not.
Man, he's
not
bad.
yet, anyway.
Are you familiar with that particular game?
I am. I've seen it several times, but I haven't pulled the trigger on it.
I tried to find a cabinet picture and I could not. I mean, is there artwork and the marquee and all that good stuff, or is it all in Japanese or something?
It's probably I've never seen a marquee for it, or any artwork. So
yeah, I have a feeling that somebody should take the flyer and sort of improvise.
Just make something. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, there's enough in there, I think. All right, so that was what was happening. How many years ago was that?
Hey, Steve Barbie says
years
hi.
Ago? Oh my God! What?
Steve Barbie says hi.
Steve Barbie from Grinker's Grand Palace.
Yeah.
3 months away, 4 months away.
Yeah, we're getting close. We should probably have him on the show.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll be our season premiere after we go.
Possibly. So, hey, July 26, 1984, 34 years ago from today's date. Back then on this day, only 3 days were left before the American rock musical drama film, directed by Albert Mangoli, would premiere. The film starred musical prodigy Prince in his acting debut playing the Kid, the quasi-biographical character, which means they just changed stuff so that it sounded good or bad or whatever. Purple Rain was developed to showcase Prince's talents, and the film contains several concert sequences, all shot in downtown Minneapolis' First Avenue. Have you been, Adam?
To First Avenue?
First Avenue. Have you heard of it?
A couple times. I've been there.
If you haven't lived... Yeah, shut up. I'm sure you've been there like a billion times.
I saw Prince, but not at First Avenue.
I never saw him in Minneapolis.
I saw him at Target Center.
So what Adam's playing is the unedited original video of Prince recording his performance of Purple Rain at First Avenue. They hired a bunch of dudes and recorded the concert, and then they edited down what they had recorded and put it in the movie. It's really bizarre that they would do that. And all the people that are in the audience had never heard any of the music, so they're just listening. They're not making any noise. It was like the perfect situation. But would that be cool to go back and see Prince perform all that stuff for the first time?
Yeah.
I mean, and he didn't even like tour it and then record, multiple versions of it. He took the one time he performed it and did it.
Right.
Anyway, okay. So we're moving on here.
Okay.
Last little part here in what happened 34 years ago. Let's talk about what was on TV. This is weird. Of course, it's the summer.
Now comes your time with the best beer you can find. Miller High Life. Bring your thirsty self right here.
Oh my gosh, just shoot me in the head right now. The 84 Summer Olympics were in full swing.
Wow.
And some dude decided, hey, I'm going to put together 30 minutes of commercials that aired during the Olympics on this date.
Making the Olympics represents the top, and that's where I want to be.
Traditionally, America's cyclists have had to train without the advantage of proper facilities. So 7-Eleven built a track.
7-Eleven.
7-Eleven.
Also built the first Olympic-class velodrome in America.
There's a lot of weird commercials where different companies are trying to brag. I don't know where it is in there, but somewhere there's a Coca-Cola commercial where some straight-laced guy is like wanting to be a short order cook, and then he becomes a short order cook, and he does amazing, and everybody's amazed, and then everybody drinks a Coke.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
And the commercial is like 2 minutes long. It has nothing to do with the Olympics, but I'm like, what? What would they? Why?
Crazy. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
You know what question that leads me to ask?
What is it?
What's in the juke?
Hello and welcome to What's in the Juke.
Yeah.
So here we. Okay. All right. Okay. All right.
What?
Okay. Yeah, you go ahead. We got to get the tapes out. Okay. Okay, I'm ready.
It's a lot of tapes. I was expecting reel to reel, but whatever.
It takes longer to load those up.
Hey, so for our sparse, we don't have a lot of people on the chat, but what we're looking at scoring points for today are guessing the artist.
Okay.
If you can guess the song, that's great. You got an extra point.
Well, it's a shame because I did finally for Ryan. I dug out the sound clips. So.
Oh, Ryan.
As they're guessing, you'll hear this if you get a half point.
Half point.
And this if you get a full point.
Full point.
I think that's pretty good.
I mean, we could stick to our half point thing. I mean, whatever. I'm not a fan of fractions.
Well, we give people a full point when they get both half points.
Half point.
Okay.
Half point. Full point.
You see? It'll work.
I did.
Casey usually gets a full point.
I don't even see Casey in the chat. If he's there, that's great.
Well, maybe he heard about the music you picked.
He backed out? Like he's mowing his lawn right now?
I think we're missing a lot of people. It must be a nice night somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good
my
excuse.
gosh. All right, well, Doc, if you know any of these, jump right in.
I probably won't.
Who's the Davalope? That's a new name I haven't seen.
I thought he was Dave from Buffalo, but it sounds like he's a different guy.
He goes, Peter Cetera. He's guessing in advance.
I'm going to tell you right now, there is not any Peter Cetera songs here.
But there is a theme. Why don't you tell him about the theme, Mark?
Our theme is that all of these songs have the word doctor in them in honor of Doc Mack.
Oh, thank you.
A doctor of arcadiology.
It's either in honor of or to torture you. We're not really sure which one. Here comes the first clip. Hang on to your hats. It's a good one. I don't know.
I love that.
That's a great opening for a song. This happens to be like my second favorite song by this band.
Yeah, I missed a chance to listen to them perform.
Casey
Casey
popped in.
No.
Half point.
Casey got a half point, and then everyone else has to. They're fighting it out.
Half point.
And Casey gets the other half point for
Full point.
a full point.
Thompson Twins, Doctor.
That's pretty good. Now, I'm sorry in advance about the rest of these songs. Okay, here we go. I don't know if these will be in order. Okay, here we go.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter? Okay, here we go. Oh, yeah, this one. That's 15 seconds. That's way more than we usually have to give. Anybody?
Let's give him a hint. Ozzy Osbourne's involved.
Nope, not Kiss. Here, I'll skip to the middle somewhere. My darling. That was a pretty good spot to pick.
Yeah.
Nobody?
They're fumbling around. Kiss? Oh. I'm like, what band's name Kiss? Oh, he lowercase. I'm used to Kiss being all uppercase.
With lightning. Yeah. Well, I think we're going to have to move on to the next one. That was Black Sabbath Rock and Roll Doctor from 1976.
Sweet.
Yes. Okay, here comes the next one. So Casey's winning with...
One.
Okay. Here we go. This is the next song. Clip.
There's a man I found could bring us all joy. There's a doctor I found could cure the boy. A doctor I found can cure the boy.
Well, I just... Good luck.
That's enough.
Good luck.
That's like a really short song. I'll give you a hint. It was a rock opera. Dave Elope got the band name.
Oh, we got a...
Half point.
All right. Half point for the Dave Elope.
That's right.
It's like the Jackalope, but he's a Dave. It's from Tommy. We should give him
yeah.
a half point
we
for
should
that.
give Dave points for that. Yeah. Dave from Buffalo, you're going to get a half point.
Awesome. It is from Tommy. It's called. Remember, these have the word doctor in them, so you can be looking this up if you want to. But the song is "There Is a Doctor" by The Who.
Yes, I think this doctor's supposed to cure you from your, liking pinball so much.
Oh, all right. Here we go. Here's the next Doctor song, and here it goes. Oh. I like this song. Boy, I like that song.
Yeah, the intro probably doesn't get as much play, but
I think it's really good, actually. I'm going to probably get it, but I don't have this one. Not Motley Crue. Not Motley Crue. Good guess, though. I'll play a little bit more. Okay, I can't understand what he's saying. Not Dr. Feelgood. But good guess. I need a little timer that runs out. Ding, 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 I don't have one. Yeah, we just don't have one. Yeah, I have fighting noises.
Doc, any guesses on this one?
I got nothing.
Okay.
It's Cheap Trick.
If it's not Led Zeppelin.
If it's not Led Zeppelin, damn it.
It was a cheap trick, Mark. It was a cheap trick.
Yes, I'm sorry.
And the song is called The Doctor.
By Cheap Trick.
Okay. Moving on to the next
one.
Here we go. Well, that's apropos.
Oh, man. Nobody's going to get that.
We just play that again. We're just going to take this clip and play it throughout the show. Oh my gosh.
I think about you every day. I really want you to. Swipe my feet right off the ground. You're the love I found. Dr. Jones.
Okay, I played enough. You can get that from there, right? Oh my gosh, Dave from Buffalo.
Oh, he comes through. Dave from Buffalo in first place for the first time.
He just
ever.
Full point.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Aqua. Do you know any other songs Aqua did?
It's a little weird that he got it, but I'm okay with it. Right.
Didn't they sing that Barbie song or something?
That's the only song they sang, if you ask me.
I'm a Barbie girl.
Yeah, all right. Here we go. Next track. Now, this is a good song.
Yeah.
When I see you coming, all I see is loving inside. Oh, yeah. And baby, all I gotta do is see you, and I know that it's right.
Oh my God, that's a good song. We got Tom Jones, Dr.
Dave.
Love, another
full point.
All right.
To Dave from Buffalo.
That's awesome.
Nice.
I'm going to play a little bit more of that. That was really good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It gets pretty clear who the artist is.
Yeah. Yeah, that song is awesome. All right, next track. Here we go.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, somebody should get that. The Google Foo is strong this week. The Beatles. We get a
half point
for Casey Relford. Dr. Roberts.
Full point.
Goes to Casey.
All right. Dave from Buffalo leading with 2.5 points. Casey in second. And then Dave Elope with a half point.
There you go. The Beatles.
I wonder what that song's about.
It's about Dr. Robert.
What did he do for them, I wonder?
Probably gave them drugs to make them come out of their drug. Well, this is too early. This is the 60s. They hadn't done that yet. Okay, here we go.
So just STDs.
Oh my God. I know this song actually.
I don't want to be the filler if the void is solely yours.
Oh my God. Just use your vowels, lady.
One time I went to one of her concerts and she was staring at somebody behind me, but I was felt like I was making eye contact with her.
And you're winking at her the whole time?
Yes. So the whole time I'm enjoying
What's up?
pretending.
What's up? Yes. What's up?
Half point.
Goes to Dave from Buffalo. What's up?
No, seriously, when you have Alanis Morissette staring at you, this is the best concert I've ever been to.
I don't want to be our glass of single malt whiskey hidden in the bottom drawer. And I don't want to be a bandage if the wound is...
She makes vowels into something else. She just has them all over the place.
Ex-girlfriend of mine had to go to the bathroom at one of the Mark Wahlberg movie premieres, and she was in the bathroom with Alanis. Alanis had spilled something.
Oh, on her dress or what?
Yes, apparently. So they bonded.
She's from Canada.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, that song was called Not the Doctor.
Not the Doctor.
All right. So where are we at with the score, Mark?
We got 2 left. Dave from Buffalo is in the lead with 3 points. Casey in second with 2. And Davelo pulling up the rear with 0.5 points.
All right. Here comes the next track.
So cool.
Yeah. Anybody gonna get that?
It's one of my favorite bands.
It is my. I have 2 or 3 of their albums.
It's long gone. Janie got a crush on a Viet Cong. Burning through downtown Saigon.
Nothing. Nobody. Everybody's like, I don't know. I've never been in a mosh pit. What?
That was it.
Actually, the last mosh pit I was in was at a Marilyn Manson thing. Hey, Doc, have you ever been in a mosh pit?
Dave Loeb says, "Is this obscure night or what?"
You interrupted him. I didn't quite get the answer.
Sorry.
No, I haven't.
You have not. Oh, it's fun, especially when you're in your 40s and you're in a mosh pit. Yeah.
When was the last time you were in one?
I was 43 or something like that. It was great, except for they kept throwing me back in, and I'm like, I had to as I was approaching somebody that was going to push me back, I'm like, I need to get out, and they're like, oh, okay. And
yeah, not Motorhead. That was Sisters of Mercy, Dr. Jeep.
Sisters of Mercy.
Yeah. So
this one should be good.
Dave Loeb says, "Obscure night or what?"
Yes.
Yeah. Are we on the last one now?
This is it. I think you hopped over one of them.
I'll probably
over,
no. I'll throw
19.
I'll throw another one in. Here we go.
Really?
If they can't get this, then we're in trouble.
It's classic.
Yeah.
It's classical music.
It is classical music. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, Casey. Of course.
Oh, yep. Crew. Dr. Feelgood.
Full point.
I guess he gets it.
Casey and Dave from Buffalo tied.
So we can have a tiebreaker. I got it right here. Ready?
All right.
Okay. This is pretty obscure though. I mean, they may or may not have heard of it. You know.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know. Play it.
Okay.
Is this the one you missed?
Wait. No, I got a better one. Here we go.
Yeah, I knew it.
Nope, I got a really good one. Here we go. Here we go. Did Casey drop out?
No, he's still there.
Oh. We lost somebody. That was the best track right there. Not the Spin Doctors. Doctor and the Medics. No, not them.
Not Dr. Hook.
No. I can't believe they're not going to get... This is obscure, though, I guess.
Casey, I could do that if you want. He said in the chat, he goes, next week's theme, songs with the word the in the title. I could do that. All songs start with the. Go.
That's Doctor in the TARDIS by KLF.
All right.
Yeah.
I think we're good with Dave from Buffalo and Casey tying.
Yeah, not bad.
This is good because now we finally get to talk to Doc Mack.
Oh, yeah, that's the part of the show, huh?
Yeah.
We don't have any calls?
No, just Dan Reed telling us he's working on a Turtles.
Oh.
Which, by the way, he's doing in like a scramble cabinet or something. I don't exactly know how that's going to work out. Oh, he must be doing a Konami Turtles. Oh.
Yeah, it's a 2-player.
Huh.
Yeah.
What's the best part of your cereal in the morning? What's the best part? Drinking the milk after the cereal, right? Yeah. Everybody loves the milk after the cereal. Well, why not make cereal milk?
There you go.
You know, make it taste like Fruit Loops or Cocoa Pebbles. And just sell them
It's true.
sorts of milk, right? Cereal milk. People buy it up, man. Buy it up, right? I know I would. I love cereal milk.
We should have that guy on the show. Please welcome to the show one more time, Mr. Doc Mack. And I have the first question for you.
Sure.
After I stop interrupting you so you can say hi.
Hello.
And now my question is, why is your name Doc?
It's just weird parents. It's it was a problem growing up.
You did not adopt that. That's your name.
Yeah.
That is awesome. I expected some story, and it's just your parents named you Doc.
Yeah.
Well, that explains why you're named Doc then.
Do you feel like you grew into it?
Yeah, it was something I did not like initially.
Because, frankly, it's a cool-ass name.
Right.
And so...
Sure beats the hell out of Adam. And it was no better being Adam. Adam and Eve. Was like
I got a lot of Mork from Works from my Mark.
Yeah. And I don't even want to discuss my last name, which is why it changes every show. So, Mark, why don't you dig into that first question?
Yes, let me ask you a standard question that we have.
It's sort of an origin story type of question.
Yes, as a youth, what were the circumstances when you first became hooked on arcade games?
I had started playing like Pong and Atari 2600, and I vividly remember going into, there's a restaurant, and in the entryway there was an Asteroids. And just the way it looked, it was an instantaneous thing. Like talking with my dad, he was like, oh yeah, there's whole places where you can just go play these games.
Yeah.
And that was the start of it. It was just started going when I was super young. By the time I was 7 or 8, I was going constantly. And then is when I got to the point where our best arcade, we had so many around us, which was just great. But yeah, I remember the one that I liked to go to was about an hour and a half bike ride, and I had to go like literally. It was just massive amounts of traffic, and I'd ride my bike there, 10 years old, and just couldn't play them enough. And there were ones around, like every diner and restaurant had arcades, so I'd play wherever I could find them.
Sweet. So I guess that the next natural question would be, what were some of your favorite arcades back in the day?
Like Asteroids, Double Dragon, Operation Wolf.
The arcades themselves, where the games were. Yeah.
The actual arcades. I played at Haunted Trails was the one that I really liked to play at.
Oh, okay.
It was part mini golf and go-karts and stuff. And they had two different buildings with arcades in it.
Sweet.
What?
And it was all monster themed. Like there's this giant 40-foot Frankenstein out front and everything. And
I think I remember seeing pictures of this on Clav. Somebody posted pictures about that thing. Is it around anymore? Or is it gone?
Yeah, it's still there. They still have one arcade room. The rest is all redemption and stuff.
Oh yeah, they got to make money, I guess.
Sure.
We should talk about that.
Wouldn't it be funny? Like in 50 years, there's like nostalgic redemption games. Like,
okay, so I'm going to tangent here for a second. We're talking about people trying to make money in arcades. You have an ungodly number of arcade games in your Galloping Ghost Arcade in Brookfield. So, tell us about how many games you have in that thing.
We're at 659 right now.
Are you the largest arcade in North America right now?
From what I can find, the world.
Wow.
I have talked to a lot of people in Japan. We get a lot of players that fly in from Japan.
Okay.
And everybody says that we're the biggest. So.
Wow. A Galloping Ghost. Where'd you get the name?
I had initially seen there's a World War II book that my brother was transcribing, and it had a logo on a bomber of something similar, and he was using it as a band that he was in. He was using it as for a concert.
Okay.
And he redrew it and changed it up, and then I just was like, oh, that's the coolest thing. And I got a tattoo of it. I was 15 or 16, and I was on the phone. I was obsessed with Sega Genesis stuff too.
Okay.
I collected every commercially released game out there. I constantly called people at the development companies, and I was talking. This was in '94 with a guy from a company called Razorsoft. They put out a game called Techno Cop, and they had a bunch of really cool games.
I love Techno Cop.
Yeah, it's a good one. But we were talking about game design, and he asked if I was working for a company, and I pretty much was like, right then, it's like I knew I wanted to work in the industry, so that was kind of the start of Galloping Ghost Productions.
Okay.
And that's the production company started long before the arcade.
Oh, interesting. Well, as long as we're talking about that, why don't you tell us a little about the branding? So Galloping Ghosts has obviously an arcade, and then you have Productions.
Yeah, Productions was the first company from '94. The first game we started working on in '94 was Dark Presence.
Okay.
Which we worked on it for about 10 years and rebooted it because the game was just massively huge. And even going with arcade hardware, technology wasn't able to run the game that we wanted to make.
Okay.
So in 2005, we went back to our filming studio, and this was a live action. It was kind of like a Mortal Kombat style game.
Okay.
So
is this the one where you're a character in it?
I did do I played a couple of the characters, and I did all the fight choreography.
This all stems from your love of Sega Genesis and Mortal Kombat, I suppose.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was I literally had It's funny. I met with Ed Boon.
Okay.
And asked him. I at the time I wanted to go work for Midway.
All right.
And he was. I had opened Galloping Ghost Productions, but was still kind of like, if I can go work at Midway, I'd go work at Midway. And chance meeting with him, just at this video game store that I worked at, and I asked him, like, how I want to come work for Midway. How do you do it? He's like, he's shaking his head and he's like, you have to know people. And
okay.
It's not what you know, but who you know.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I know you now. So
yeah,
when can I start? And he's like, it's so hard to get in the industry. And
just to interject really quickly, because some of our listeners might not know Edward Boon.
Ed Boon.
He is basically the game programmer and director for like tons of Mortal Kombat, almost the entire Mortal Kombat series, right?
Yeah. He was the original creator. Him and John Tobias, and there's so many, like, the background on Mortal Kombat runs so deep with me. Like when we started working on our game, we had approached the original actors to be in our game. Most of them were martial artists from the Chicagoland area. So I had met a couple of them at the old CES show when the Genesis game came out.
Oh, cool.
And Daniel Pacina, who played like Johnny Cage and Scorpion and Sub-Zero, was one of the first guys that I met.
Sweet.
And it was just, I lost touch with him over the years, but
yeah,
it's been an interesting, as the arcade opened, and as well before that, as the production company started, reconnected with several of the MK actors.
Yeah.
And was telling them, hey, we want you to be in this video game. And they were like, they came out, were fitted for the costumes and were all set to film. And then they started to see what they had to do and how long it was going to take. And they ended up not being able to be a part of it just because, like the original Mortal Kombat, each character filmed in about 4 hours. And we literally filmed 7 days a week for close to 4 years. And it was just far too much of a time commitment for them. So they were very supportive and everything, but they ended up not being in the actual game, unfortunately. But
well, that's too bad.
Yeah.
Now, I was at MGC. I think the first time I met you, I was at MGC. And there was a bunch of Mortal Kombat people there, and I had no idea that you had something to do with that. Can you tell us the relationship there?
Yeah, so we've had, since we opened the arcade, well, stepping back a little bit, we were getting to be good friends by the time we were wrapping up filming with Dark Presence. And about a year after being out of our filming studio, we went into post-production, and then it started becoming apparent that we were going to open up this arcade. And the biggest thing that I was most excited about was bringing all the industry people to the arcade and getting them meeting with fans. And I wanted to really see these people get the credit that they've always deserved. So many of the guys that have worked on these games, to me, they're legends. And unfortunately, most people don't know any of their names. Like, they'll like the games of them, like Rampage, like Brian Colin and Jeff Nauman, who made that game. Everybody recognizes Brian's art. He's a phenomenal artist, but nobody knows who he is. Guys like Jeff Lee, who did Qbert, and like all the Mortal Kombat actors. So it was out of the gate one of these things that we really wanted to not just have the arcade, but get all this history from all the developers to have them come out to the arcade and share their stories. Because there's, from me working on our game, it was to me, it was the biggest thing that I wanted to know was like why these games were made like they were, and get a better, deeper insight. And honestly, almost every industry person that I talk to, they think, no, these games were made so long ago, nobody's going to care. And it's been so amazing to give them an audience and be like, no, you're 100% wrong. People really want to hear these stories.
Yeah.
And that has blossomed into this thing where all these industry people now are getting invited to shows, and they're getting to travel all around the world, and they have so many stories, and fans travel in to meet them. And it's just incredible to have this be kind of like the meeting place for so many of them.
Totally. Yeah.
For Mortal Kombat, we hold a yearly event. It started off as a tournament that we would host called Shang Tsung's Fight Night.
Okay.
And it was just 3 or 4 of the MK actors would show up for it.
Flawless victory.
Every year we would add new actors and new people that worked on the games and stuff. And 2 years ago we started. It got to the point where it was so big that it evolved into what we call Combat Con.
Okay.
Where we're flying in all the actors that have moved out of state. We're getting everybody that worked on the game out to this event. We couldn't even host it at the arcade anymore because
too many people.
It's too big. It's too big.
Fantastic, man. That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's like, okay, quick question. The actors, I mean, obviously you've met all of them and they show up to Combat Con and you've facilitated this thing, a childhood dream come true almost. Maybe even you weren't even like looking for it, but it just ended up happening. So my question is, the movie, Mortal Kombat, the movie, much different actors. What did you think when you first saw that movie?
I honestly, I wanted to walk out. It was not what I wanted. I knew by then. It was like, no, I know Johnny Cage.
Yeah, exactly.
Why isn't Johnny Cage here?
Exactly.
Why isn't he playing the actor? And there was a lot of they were looked at to be in the movie, but it just didn't work out. And it's really unfortunate because the actors had such influence over their characters.
Sure.
And I've been fortunate enough to be able to see like the making of footage of Mortal Kombat and have so much behind the scenes information and stuff that it's a childhood dream come true where I get to know virtually everything and see it all through video. And you watch the actors like Daniel Pesina come up with moves, and the back and forth between Ed Boon and John Tobias and Rich DeVizio, who played Kano and Baraka, and how all these moves would become so iconic and recognizable. And you see it every day. 25 years later, people are yelling out the "Get over here!"
Yeah.
It's outrageous to have watched that creation process through video.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. I remember going to the movie thinking, not expecting anything, because typically arcade games that are turned into movies are quite terrible.
Sure.
There hasn't been they made a movie out of Battleship that's a board game, but Asteroids.
Oh.
Don't they have Asteroids? Asteroids is the movie.
No.
Yeah, they have the rights to it. They haven't made it yet, I think. But it's like, what are you gonna do? There's gonna be one ship and a bunch of rocks coming towards you.
Well, and I think the big reason, a perfect example, is with the new Rampage movie. They had access to Brian Colin, who created it.
Sure.
And they flew him out there, and it is.
Tell us who Brian Colin is, by the way, in your relationship with that guy.
Brian Colin is the creator of and artist behind games like Rampage and Xenophobe, Arch Rivals, Pigskin, Zawackery. He's
Yeah.
worked on. He's got a very stylized. His artwork is just very recognizable.
Yeah, Rampage, man. That's the I think that was what drew me to that game, was the whole cartoon aspect of it. You know,
there's so much, the way he animated things, just by the expressions and his sense of humor, it stands out through all his games.
Yeah.
And it's so unfortunate that they didn't tap him more to be involved. Like he was flown out there, the script was already written, and it's kind of like, here's what we're doing, instead of asking his input. I think it could have made it so much, and not that it's a bad movie or anything, but like, I think it would have added this level that the gamers would have appreciated far more.
For the Rampage movie, or for the which movie are you talking about?
Right.
For Rampage, for any of them.
Sure.
I think it is looked at just in such different eyes as instead of what it should be. Like,
sure.
If it's something to pay homage to these great games, go back to the people that made them and get their input and make it have some of the essence that the original game had, instead of just trying to make it some blockbuster that doesn't have the same heart that the game did.
For sure. Yeah, that's crazy, man. It's I'm supposed to ask you about Jeff Lee. Someone in the chat says something about Jeff Lee.
Yeah, Jeff Lee. I met him for the first time at Midwest Gaming Classic.
Oh, okay.
Trickman Terry introduced us, who from Pixel Blast Arcade, and we've been so fortunate. He lives like 5 minutes away from here.
Another video game artist, right?
Yep, he was the artist of Qbert and Three Stooges, Krull, most of the games from Gottlieb. Mad Planets.
I know a guy that has a Krull. I know two guys that have Krull.
Great game. You don't see very many of them anymore.
No. Dan Reed, our former host, has a restored one, and Mr. Brian Armitage has another one that he picked up.
Yeah.
So. Is there a crawl on the floor at Galloping Ghost?
Yes.
Yes.
Brian Armitage also told me to review about some game you might be looking for. Having a hard time finding something about a quantum.
Oh, sure. I am looking for a quantum.
So anybody who's got a quantum, is there a particular reason you want that? It's just because it's so cool?
We've had several people looking, just asking that we get one.
Yeah.
And we try to occasionally listen to what the people want.
That is a really fun game. It's very fun.
It is. I literally was about to pull the trigger on two games I've been looking for a while. Both popped up at the same time.
Sweet.
That being a Quantum and an iRobot. And I hesitated for half a day and was missed both of them.
Oh no.
I don't miss many games, and I should have pulled the trigger quicker on them, but
that's terrible. You'll get one.
Yeah.
Or just I can steal it out of Brian's house for you.
Honestly, with it's so much, the ones that we were looking at were just the going rate, like we call it the retail price. And
sure.
I hate paying retail for stuff, just because we've been so fortunate on so many games that it's just the happen chance of getting it, and we get like outrageous deals, and it's the natural way that we find. Like we got Primal Rage 2.
Nice.
Was practically given to us. We spent $400 on the board, and literally the day we put it on the floor, somebody called and offered us $60,000 for it.
What?
And we turned it down. And it's it just keeps happening, and it's not something that it's just that's the community behind this place. We had Death Race. Somebody just donated one. A guy drove up with a sit-down Sinistar, and it was just like, you should probably have this. And it's like, it's a sit-down Sinistar. It's like, you tell them there's none of these out there. And they just wanted it a place that people can go and enjoy it and still just get it out there and have fun with it like it was supposed to be.
Sure.
Hey, so, your community and how it evolved, do you have a specific like method for contacting them? Or are they all on Facebook, or do you have an email list, or what's
we pretty much do we do a lot of Facebook. We've got our group and our fan page and stuff. And the big thing is there's so much going on at the arcade that about maybe 25% of the stuff that goes on at the arcade actually makes it. So it's just one of those where if you're there, the chance of some cool stuff happening it'll just happen.
Sure.
We had Toru Iwatani show up one day.
Wow.
What?
Creator of Pac-Man, just walked through the door. Eugene Jarvis, like the industry people are very aware of us, and they'll just be in the area one day and just show up. And it's you never know who's going to be here. We get great players in from all over the world.
Iwatani might be one of the few people I would run up to and go, oh, excuse me, can I have your autograph? I don't normally do that. I mean, I feel like everybody should be treated the same, people should just be treated like people, and I respect them for the industries that they've been in and such, and I love talking to them. But every once in a while, you're kind of like, dude, you thought of Pac-Man when nobody else did, and that thing was just a juggernaut. I'm not even a big fan of the game, but the fact that he walked into Galloping Ghost would have been a little bit jaw-dropping for me.
It was the funniest. I was in the back working on a cabinet, and one of my guys came running up, and he's like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, what did you do? He's like, I accidentally charged Toru Iwatani to get into the arcade. I didn't recognize him right away. He's like, I gave him his money back as soon as I recognized who he was. He has his entourage with him. And I was so happy that my guy knew who Toru Iwatani was. It was like, and he took care of him. But that's the thing. It's I spoke with him. It was so humbling talking to him, and he had nothing but he was taking pictures of like every cabinet. And he's like, I haven't seen this one in forever, or I've never seen this one.
Yeah.
And he's texting people back in Japan, and he teaches like game design out in Japan. So he's like texting students and colleagues and showing off the arcade. And it was very humbling to have him. And not only him, guys like Eugene Jarvis and Larry DeMar and George Petro, like these guys have made every game. It's like there's so many talented people that come in, and you might not know their names, but it's like the creator of Robotron, the creator of Defender, creator of Smash TV. And it's just so, having them have such a positive response to the arcade just means so much.
Yeah.
And it just keeps growing and growing. So,
hey, when you started the arcade, how many games, what kind of events grew that community?
Well, so when we opened right out of the box, it was opening day was a 48-hour event. We had 130 machines.
That's respectable.
We were running tournaments. We had the Mortal Kombat actors there. We had Rich DeVizio, who played Kano, Baraka, Cabal, Quan Chi. Daniel Pesina, who was the Ninjas and Johnny Cage, Philip Bond, who was Shang Tsung. We had
yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, it was.
When was opening day?
It was August 13th, Friday the 13th, 2010.
Oh man, you've only been open 8 years.
Oh yeah. It's flown by.
Wow.
But it's the industry people have really helped grow it beyond what we ever fathomed it could be.
Sure.
Like Brian Colin, he was the first to really. Well, actually, the MK guys, we got really close with them. They were there often.
Okay.
Just hanging out, and they were just kind of, because we had the production company.
Yeah.
As they started growing in popularity, like we were doing all their headshots for them because they're signing autographs, and now they need stuff to sign.
Yeah.
So they're like, can we get a couple hundred more pictures to sign? It's like, yeah, absolutely.
Where did you get the outfits?
Well, we were using original photos from the filmings and just stuff that's kind of circulated. Daniel Pesina had taken so many pictures back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And he, over the years, he's been kind enough to be, he's like, oh, I have all these negatives from when we're filming, and it's just stuff that people have never seen before.
Yeah.
And stuff that people are, now that they know that some of that stuff is out there, people go crazy for the stuff.
So do you find yourself creating more, or do you play as much as you create? So you built this, empire, your production company, your launch for your 150 games, and boom, now you're up to 600 and how many ever games. And do you have time to play? Do you play?
I play every day, but it's hard. There are so many things that are going on. So we're just wrapping up production on Dark Presence.
Okay.
There's so many new things constantly happening that make there's opportunities I can't pass up on.
Sure.
Brian Colin came in one day, and he had donated 2 unreleased prototype games to us. 1-of-1 cabinets, RC Squared, which Electronic Arts was working on, and they canceled it, and International Team Laser.
I've never heard of either one of those.
International Team Laser was Blasted, which did come out from Bally.
Okay.
They originally were doing a 4-player version of it, and they took it to a show, and they were getting concerned about costs, so they were like, okay, we're going to scale this back and make a 2-player game. He had the prototype, and he's unfortunately the monitor had fallen in, and he's like, I think this one's done for. And he's like, I'll give it to you if you fix it. Awesome.
Wow. Give me a harder problem.
Right.
Well, that's the funny thing is, like, that's the stuff I absolutely love it. So many of the guys here just love the challenge, and I'm so fortunate to work with the guys that we have here within the organization, because I have a hard time passing up on opportunities. So like Brian, we're talking, and he's telling me all these stories. I had a breakfast with Brian Colin and Jeff Lee. So we're sitting at the restaurant across the street from the arcade. It's 7 a.m. They're telling me, Jeff is telling me about when he's working on Qbert. Brian is telling me about all these crazy games that he's working on. And he starts telling me about this game called Spectre Files, the Death Stalker. And he's like, yeah, it was this Laserdisc game. We shot it, and Bally canceled it because of this NFL game that came out. That was on a CED disc.
Oh, man.
He said that game got his game canceled.
Wow. Well, yeah, that kind of blows.
Yeah, it was. We're talking about it, and he's like, "Oh, it's supposed to be this very campy B horror movie, choose your own adventure game. It's all live actor, so it would throw a question to you, and you'd get one of three choices, and it was kind of like a slower paced Dragon's Lair, just because it's question based." So because I'm thinking, I'm like, I have what's left of this? Like, what is left of this game?
Right.
And he's like, "Oh, there's a music video online." He's like, "It was never programmed. There might be footage in my garage, maybe." And as soon as I heard there's footage, it's like, oh, if there's footage, I have to see it. I have to. I need to.
Yeah.
And I watched this music video that was on YouTube, and you can instantly see Brian Cullen's humor in it, and it's like I'm begging this guy. I'm like, please go check, see what you got. And he comes back and he's like, "Oh, I found the footage." And I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, this has to. I'm like, let's team up.
Yeah.
Like, we have the production company. Let's finish this game. And he's like, "Okay." So
nice.
Now we have like Brian Cullen, who his company was Game Refuge. So it's Galloping Ghost and Game Refuge are working on a game together.
That's really cool.
That was started back in 1984. And
84 or 94? Or his game is 84.
His
wow.
game was started in
1984.
Wow. So we finish it. And now we have it in the arcade. And he did new side art he did all the artwork for it. And the game's done. So it was this game that was started in 84 that never came out. We did a limited run of 10 cabinets that we have them. We haven't officially announced selling them yet.
Mm-hmm.
Just we want to get them in the arcades that people are going to enjoy them, so they can be out. And
so not my house. Is that what you're saying?
we've made there's 2 exceptions so far that we're making.
Okay.
So I'm sure I can be coerced into letting them go into private collections, but I really want to see them out on the floor.
Yeah.
On the arcade floor at our place, it's never empty. It's the game. I see why it was canceled, because like one quarter will last you like 45 minutes. Like you'll be playing this game for a long time. It never would have earned money, but it is getting so much attention on the floor, which is just unbelievable.
Well, and I didn't ask you this, but what do you charge for somebody to get into Galloping Ghost?
It's $20 all day.
Just
11 a.m. to 2 a.m.
Pretty come and go as you please.
Come and go as you please. Show you leave, go get lunch, show your receipt, you're back in for free.
Okay.
And it's just play as much as you want. Like, you don't like a game, go to the next one. Like, there's
that's the business model. You don't have food, you don't have drinks, none of that.
No alcohol, no redemption. It's just arcade games, and we're right around 80,000 people a year now.
Wow.
That
defies logic. Like, most arcades can't have to shutter. But you must be a destination spot for a lot of people. And you talked about Christmas and Thanksgiving, and you're holding events, I assume. You started with what evolved into Combat Con, right? So you have things going on.
It's bigger as we keep expanding. It's so funny because, like, 7 days a week, there's people that'll show up that are from out of state and out of the country, and it's so awesome to hear them tell the stories about where they heard, like, where did they hear about us? Like, what was it that drew them in? And like Primal Rage, for example, we had a couple hitchhike from Oregon shortly after we put it on the arcade floor. And it's we've had people that are trying to open arcades that we let them shadow us. Like, we're totally open about sharing all the information about how we grew into this.
No, that's cool.
When we opened, everybody said we would be closed in 6 months, including the industry people. Like, all my industry friends were like, "Oh, you're incredibly passionate about this, but it's 2010. You're not going to work. It doesn't make any sense." David Bishop, the executive vice president of Namco, he was opening up level 257, which is a restaurant arcade.
Yeah.
And it's so astonishing. Like, I really don't think that the industry knows itself that well. And I think I always divide it between players, developers, and venues.
Mm-hmm.
And the venues are like, nobody thought that people would pay this flat rate.
Right.
The industry people thought, well, nobody wants to buy arcade games, so nobody wants to produce them. And our whole big thing is to kind of change all three, like change players, change the industry. Like, we just want to change the whole industry. And we've got the ear of players, we've got the ear of the industry people. We've helped so many arcades open now. I've got over 150 places that we're trying to help open right now.
Wow.
All over the world.
Garcade is the same model, right? They just charge a cover, but they, I think that one of the things that works for them is they have adjacent food and drinking establishments and whatnot. I assume around you have a similar thing going on.
Yeah, that was one of the key things. So many places, like cities, are against arcades opening. There's a lot of laws on the books.
Oh, and I have a question about that. Go ahead.
Okay. It's been so beneficial to all the surrounding businesses. Nothing stayed open in Brookfield.
Yeah.
Tony's across the street's a family restaurant. They went 24 hours because everybody's leaving the arcade at 2 a.m.
Wow. You changed the landscape of the businesses around you.
It's improved so much. The motel down the street renovated. It'd been there forever, but shortly after we opened, there was this influx of cash for them, and it's like now they're even bigger and better. The guy who we were having all of our restoration artwork printed at the print shop right next to the arcade, we had a print shop.
It's time for you to start printing your own stuff.
Well, we did. He did so well, he moved, and we bought his business and opened up Galloping Ghost Reproductions. And now we offer arcade reproduction artwork.
Wow.
And we've got this massive library with the arcade floor. So it's prototype games, and like, we scan everything in, marquees, bezels, side art.
That's why you asked about the Hellfire mark, right?
I had to do all the vectoring artwork for that one myself.
Well, because we have the production company, we have all these artists on hand.
Right.
Wow.
So, and because of all the industry people, I'm so fortunate. We were doing a game called Splat from Williams, which is super outrageously rare game. I'm talking with George Petro one day, who owns Play Mechanics, and he worked on Trog and Terminator. Just talking with him, he's like, "Oh, what are you working on?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm trying to get." He actually challenged me. He loves the arcade. And anytime I put something rare on the floor, I had just gotten Blaster. This is how this one went down. He was like, I got a wooden Blaster, and he's like, "Oh, that's awesome." He's like, "Eugene Jarvis is gonna lose his mind seeing that." And Larry DeMar. like, you got a wooden blaster, but you don't have a splat.
He's just ribbing.
Wow.
You. Nice.
And it killed it. I'm pretty obsessive on this stuff. So it's like, okay, well, I got to get a splat. So I'm trying to rebuild this thing. I got a board. I'm found out what cabinet was in, and I'm working on it. I'm stenciling it. I'm like, okay, but there's no artwork anywhere. And I'm telling this to Petro. He's like, oh, stop on out. Let me see. Maybe I've got something. So he goes into his art archives, and he's like, oh, I got a NOS control panel art for you.
Nice.
And it's like, and he's like, here. And it's like, oh, okay. And I'm doing all this research. I'm finding out it needs 8-way optos, which Bubbles uses. And there are two. The same stick was in early Joust.
Oh, interesting.
What?
They had optos in them.
Huh.
So I'm trying to track these sticks down, and I finally found a set of Joust sticks. And again, fortunately, because we have the production company, we were able to modify those because they're only 2-way.
Yeah, right.
But they're the same stick. So we modified them, 3D printed the actuator, gave the thing to my 3D artist, and was like, hey, we need this, and it has to be exact.
Wow.
3D printed it out, and the cabinet was coming together, and I'm showing all my updates to George Petro, and he's like, oh, I'm going to be there on Saturday night. You going to be there? I'm like, of course. You're coming out. I'm definitely here. So comes out. He hands me an original NOS Splat marquee. And it's like, okay, the cabinet's done now. And now we have this amazing completed cabinet. It's like, oh, that's awesome. He's like, oh, but you don't have an Inferno.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. It's like the Galloping Ghost is like a can of worms, man. You just open it up and more comes out.
It keeps going and going. Like having these guys around keeps pushing things.
And people want to see it, and they know you're the guy to do it now. That's interesting. You need to find a quantum. So I got a question then. Of all the games you have, what is your favorite game?
It's probably going to be Narc. It's the first arcade game I ever purchased.
Interesting.
Back when I was 16. And again, we had, it's funny. The arcade has, I feel so guilty with the arcade because so much of the stuff is just me being, it's just living the dream. It's like, okay,
satisfying your childhood dreams, right?
Yeah.
Do you have an environment afterburner? Do you?
I do. Somebody gave it to me.
Oh my god! Free. Oh my god!
They're like, I'll never get this running. It was in a guy Jonathan who he's been so generous. We go do. I was at his place yesterday.
Okay.
Out in Decatur, and he was like, the super collector. He had this unbelievable collection of games, and he sold me Darius with a not working board. He sold me the board at MGC, and it was very early on.
Sure.
And he was about every year I would call him and be like, Jonathan, are you selling anything? This guy had 500 cabinets in his place.
Oh my god.
He's like, no, I want one of every game. I'm never selling anything.
Wow. Wow.
I'm like, okay. I'm nothing if not a patient man, but okay. I let 3 years go by, and I call him up, and I'm like, Jonathan, how's everything going? He's like, it's so weird that you calling me because everything's for sale now.
Oh my god.
What?
And I drove out there, and it was everything. It was the warehouse find that you could I'm like, oh, a Liberator. How much? $300. Just take it.
Wow.
And
Man,
just everything was my turkey shoot I got from him. My sit down Star Wars. And he had Troy Smith, who I buy so many games from Troy all the time. They just helped us grow. And he's like, yeah, just put it on the floor. Like, let people enjoy this stuff.
That's awesome.
And it's so yesterday. So there's so many stories. Like it just.
That's all right. We'll shut you up when it's time.
Oh man, I love it.
This is great.
I got to go back to the Narc story for a second.
Okay.
Narc. Going back to why it's kind of this it's almost selfish. I love Narc. Great game.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like, oh, I want to know more about it. So I'm going to run this Developers Day event, and I'll get all the developers out here, and then I'll get to hear all the stories about how my favorite game was made.
Now you were figuring it out why we were doing this show.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sweet. Yeah, well, bring him to you, man. That's what you got to do.
So Eugene Jarvis comes out, George Petro comes out, Mark Lafredo comes out, Larry DeMar. It's like all the superstars are at the arcade. George Petro calls me up the day before, and he's like, you got an extra Narc ROM board? I'm like, yeah. He's like, can you get it to me tonight? I'm like, yeah, sure. Send one of my guys to drop it off. George Petro comes out the next day, and I'm already losing my mind. I'm hearing all these stories. Mark Lafredo is the Dos Lofgang, the first character. Like when the game starts, there's the guy who you see at the console. It says Dos Lofgang, and he's like, "That's me." My mind was absolutely blown. He's like, I'm also the last boss. I'm Mr. Big.
Wow. That's funny.
And we had this giant, if you've played Narc, when you get to the last level, there's the last boss, this giant guy, white suit in a wheelchair, mafia guy, sunglasses, fedora on. He's got paintings of himself that say me underneath. Lining the last level, and there are these giant 5-foot pictures of himself. And I always thought that was unbelievable. So we had one of our artists remake that, just giant 5-foot paintings. And we had them framed and everything. And I gave one to Eugene Jarvis, and we had these mini ones. It's just absolutely all this crazy stuff. George Petro comes up to me and he hands me this Narc board, and he's like, I know you're a huge fan of Narc. There's a level that we put it out on test once. There's a bonus level, and it got canceled because it's so glitchy. He's like, I finished it for you, and now it's not on MAME. It's nowhere. Nobody's ever seen it. It was out for one day.
Oh my god!
And he's like, here's the board. Have fun. And that's the Narc we have on the floor now. It's like
you dumped the ROMs, right? You dumped the ROMs.
I backed him up. I promised up and down I would never. That's a big conflicting thing. We have all this outrageously rare stuff, and it's preserved, but it's always up to them if they want me to put it out.
Right. Right.
There's a game called Arena, which started as a game called Hexus and ended as a game. It went from Hexus to Arena to Wiz Wars. And we were doing a Wizard World show, and I had Jeff Lee with us, and he introduced me to this guy named Tom Malinowski. Tom worked on a game called Argus. There was an unreleased prototype. It never came out. It got canceled. The ROMs were dumped on MAME. So we're talking with him. And he's like, it's this awesome game. It was supposed to be Superman 2, but we couldn't get the license. And it got canceled. And he's telling me it was Jeff Lee's best artwork, better than Kubert, best artwork he's ever seen. So I had one of our regulars talk about this game. about how he played it back in the day. It was all he played.
Argus or Superman 2?
Argus.
Okay.
And so I researched it, and talking with Jeff Moore and Tom, I'm asking him, I'm like, was there artwork for this? And he's like, no, it never got that far. The game kept changing names. It was Protector and had all these different names. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go get a Gottlieb board and see if I can't take the MAME ROMs and make this thing. And so we did that. And then Jeff is like, oh, I'm going to make you marquee art and control panel art and side art and bezel art. And then we'll just have it at the arcade. Awesome.
That's amazing.
So we did that. And then we're putting it out on the floor for our 600th game that we put on the arcade floor. And we flew one of the Gottlieb hardware guys out, and he hands me this board. And we're here, everybody's just talking about Argus. He's like, I had this old Gottlieb board in my attic. Here you go. I doubt it works anymore. It's been cooking up in Las Vegas summers for 30 years.
Wow.
I'm like, what game is it? He's like, I don't know. So the board doesn't work, and it takes a little bit of time. I get it running. Actually, Doug Fox, one of our guys that does repairs, got it running. And he sends me a screenshot, and it's this game called Arena. I'm like, I've never heard of that. I called Jeff up. I'm like, Jeff, what's this game Arena? He's like, oh, yeah. It was it started as this game called Hexus, and then it got canceled. And then we tried it as Arena, and it got canceled. And then it became Wiz Wars, and it got canceled. And it's never been out. It was only a prototype. And I'm going through MAME, and I'm talking to people, and it just doesn't exist. Nobody's talking about it.
Yeah.
And it's like, now we have this another prototype just given. And
wow.
Now we have that in a cabinet. And I found somebody who had a Wiz Wars, and her husband used to work at Gottlieb, and it ran off of, I didn't even know what controls it used. It had a Mad Planet spinner and a weird black Wyco stick with a white button on top. And this, just by happen chance, this woman calls me up and she's like, I have a prototype Cubert in a suitcase that they used to take to test locations. Can you fix it? Oh my God. Sure, I can fix that.
I hope you took a picture of this thing.
Oh, we've got so many pictures.
Wow. Okay.
So many pictures. Wow. Got it working for her. Took it over to her house, dropped it off. She's telling me her husband passed away. She's like, oh, he used to be he worked at Gottlieb for years and years and years. Took me down in her basement. She's got a stack of marquees, NOS, like Three Stooges, Cuberts, like Mad Plant, every marquee from Gottlieb.
Wow.
And she's got this pristine Wiz Wars prototype. Original Mad Planet spinner and stick. I'm like, wow, you don't ever see this stuff. And we're talking, and she's asking me if I can do an appraisal on this cabinet. And I'm like, yeah, I can definitely appraise this for you and tell you what it's worth. She's like, oh, like, here, do you want these extra parts? And it's an NOS in-box Mad Planet spinner and this stick that I've never seen. And we had literally, this was a week before Red Bull TV had called. And they're like, hey, we're shooting a show called Screenland. Can you put together some rare prototype in 5 days?
And you're like, yeah.
Yeah, we're like, yeah. They're asking us, like, oh, can you have a bunch of world records set while we're there? And have a bunch of industry people show up? And we're like, oh, sure, of course. Like,
yeah.
We'll make this happen somehow. But
It's nuts.
So bizarre how it just keeps falling into place.
Yeah.
Like one thing after the next. It's just nonstop. And it's literally to the point where we just take every opportunity that comes our way.
Yeah.
And sitting in the office, Daniel Pacina's sitting here.
Sure.
And he's constantly like, he's like, oh, like, we need to do something more, something bigger. It's like, yeah, sure. Like, what can we do? What do you want to do? It's like, oh, let's open a martial arts school. Yeah, okay. So, like 3 weeks later, a building next to our production office is 2 blocks down from the arcade. So one door over, the building opens up. And it's like, oh, do you guys really want to open a martial arts school? And he's like, yeah, let's do it. So we talk with the guy that we got, Daniel Pacina, who played Johnny Cage, Philip Ahn, who he's a master of Taekwondo. He played Shang Tsung, and John Parrish, who played Jax. And I'm talking to you guys want to open a gym and martial arts school? And they're like 2 blocks down from the arcade, so people can come train with Johnny Cage and Scorpion and Shang Tsung and lift weights with Jax. And they're like, yeah, okay. So now we call it the Galloping Ghost Gamma, and it's got an arcade tie. So like players are traveling in to go to the arcade, and they play for 5 hours, and then they go down to the gym, work out, and come back and train with Shang Tsung.
That is nuts.
Yes, living the life.
It is. Holy crap.
It's odd. It's odd.
That is really cool, man.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to top all that.
I don't know either. I mean, that just seems like
Galloping Ghost grocery store. No.
Right?
We've got so many things planned. We've got we've been talking. We've got so many industry people. We want to open up a school. Like we do wiring classes. We teach game design. So we've got we're working on the Galloping Ghost University. We've got 4 or 5 more businesses that'll open within these 2 blocks that we're working on. So it's a lot of expansion coming up. Everything is very symbiotic to one another,
right.
Like the print company, the production company. And it's all to just kind of just grow the industry and make it bigger and better and make there be more arcades and
wow,
get more people into the culture.
Wow, that is really. Man, I saw a documentary on Vannon the other day, and I thought that was interesting. It's a bunch of people that get together with vans, and here you are trying to grow the arcade industry in a way that nobody has thought of in any form or fashion. I mean, everybody's thought about we've had a couple of arcades here open in the Twin Cities. One was a restaurant bar combo. They closed after less than a year. We had Rusty Quarters open and close their doors within 2 years.
What a mess.
That's the big thing. Everybody is so afraid to just be an arcade.
Right.
It's the same thing with the industry about just making arcade games again. It's everybody says it can't work, right. But it honestly, opening the arcade was so easy. Mm-hmm. It was a lot of hours. It was a lot of work, but there was it went so smoothly.
Yeah.
And it's the people that think that it's like, it's making amazing money. It's an incredibly lucrative business.
Yeah.
The people that come into it for that reason are the ones that close right away. It's, in all honesty, like the money, I don't care about the money anymore.
No.
It's all about the opportunities of doing this cool stuff that I just flat out love. And we had a barcade that we tried to help open, and he never talked about the games. He was doing like, oh, I'm worried about people thinking that it's too much of an arcade thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, that's what you want. Go insane. Just arcades. That's all you need. It just scares people. It seems like, why in the world? David Bishop, he was the executive vice president of Namco. Came into the arcade before they opened their arcade restaurant, level 257. And he's like, he introduced himself, and he's like, you're probably not going to want to talk to me because I'm going to open an arcade. And I'm like, oh no, I will talk to you. I will share every piece of information that I have with you. I'll give you my books. If it's going to mean more arcades, awesome. I don't care if you're bigger than us, if you make millions and millions of dollars, if you even are so big you put us out of business. If you're at the arcade to do it, do it. I'll tell you everything that I can.
Wow.
Flat out. He's like, I don't understand why he's there on a Saturday and there's 200 people in the arcade. He's like, I don't understand this. He's like, why are there 200 people here? And I'm like, how can you ask that? It's like, at the time, there's 450 arcade games here. Who wouldn't want to be here?
Sure.
And he's like, I'm like, what are you guys doing? And he's like, we're going to have like 30, 50 games maybe. We're going to have a bowling alley. We're going to have a lot of food. It's going to be heavily food-based. I'm like, nobody wants food from Namco.
Yeah.
You have millions and millions of dollars, multi-level arcade, be the biggest arcade in the world. And he's like, you're out of your mind. He's like, you don't know what you're talking about. You're crazy.
Did you look at what's going on around here?
Like, it's so... there's so much separation between players, the developers, and the venues. And I think what makes this work so well is because we are all three. And there's so many industry people that make games that they don't play anything. They don't know why their games are good. They think they know, but they don't really know why the people enjoy them like they do. And I think it's kind of the same with everything. Everybody is scared and has bad information. And that's the thing we want to fix. And it's so amazing seeing so many up and coming arcades doing it right. Like the places that are doing it for the right reasons, like Underground Retrocade, like not far from here. He came to one of our wiring classes where we teach people how to wire a cabinet from scratch.
Oh, God.
And
I need to go to that class.
We teach everything. It's so hard to get stuff done. I hear somebody's down at the arcade and they want to learn how to do something. And it's like, well, I'll just run down there real quick and I'll show them how to do this. And when we do that, there'll be 10 people that watch us.
Yeah.
Like we always do all of our repairs out on the floor so people can watch. And same thing with Underground. Scott Lambert, I'm so happy at his success. He came in, the first time I met him was at our wiring class. Same thing. He's like, you're not going to talk to me, but I think I want to open an arcade. not too terribly far from you. And I'm like, dude, what do you need? What can I show you? Here's my books. Like, let me know when you open. I'll send all my customers to you. It's about growing the community. It's changed so much from when it was the cutthroat.
Yeah.
If you go to somebody else's arcade,
right,
you're not loyal to us, and
right,
we want everybody's quarters, and
yeah,
I can't wait for this guy to go out of business. And it's now so much about having places to run cool events with, right, and helping promote the cool stuff that they're doing and their accomplishments and their restorations. And it being so different it's made it evolve and gotten so many more people through the doors. and into arcade gaming from every aspect of it, collector and player and venue owner and industry person. It's just unbelievable that the missing thing ends up being nobody's willing to communicate and share the information.
All right. Hey, go ahead.
Especially with that's kind of with the industry places. It's I'm constantly telling people like Ed Boon and Eugene Jarvis and George Petro, it's like make arcade games again. Like new venues are opening. They need new content. The indie places are stepping up. There's Cosmotrons, there's Sky Cursor. Those guys are doing fantastic jobs. But you need the heavy hitters to be putting out, like we need MK11 on arcade.
Right.
And there's demand. The venues are opening up and they need content.
Hey, have you considered any of the Raw Thrills games? I know they're gigantic, huge games. Like that Halo that he just put out is like a city block in size. It's
I was talking with George Petro and he sent me a picture of it the day it dropped. And he's like, "You getting one?" And I would love to have one here. Space is definitely an issue.
Yeah.
Price is definitely an issue. It's
yeah,
a price machine, but like it is I've seen one in person. It's just a beautiful machine. And one of the things for us is we don't want to take, people always ask, why don't you have the newest stuff? Why don't you have Dance Dance Revolution stuff and Big Buck Hunter and Golden Tee? And it's like, you can play that at the other places that are out there, that's their thing. Like Dave & Buster's has that stuff.
Right.
I want to have the stuff that they don't have until they stop having it. Then it'll become more attractive. And it's one of those things where the arcade floor has become, it is almost a museum in a sense. It's a very chronological, there's everything. And as the years pass, it's like, who knows what you're going to see? Like, will you eventually see a Halo in there? Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. It's a matter of time. It's the stuff that we want to showcase the history of video gaming in a sense.
Right. Hey, so I have a couple questions that I wrote down before we started the show. I know they're kind of little like sidebars, but I know that you had a warehouse raid recently. Like, yes. What was that technical assessment like? Do you go in, like, what's your move when you get in there?
This was actually, I went with two people, one of which who Prince Arcade's Jeremy Fox, who is opening an arcade.
Okay.
And it's about a 4-hour ride up. So most of the just kind of conveying like pointers to him and how to make it. Anybody who's opening a new business, they're concerned.
Right.
Is this going to work? And Jeremy has done so much for us in finding arcade games for us over the years that I'm so happy that he's finally doing this. And the trip up is mostly knowing I had already known what was at the warehouse.
Oh.
So it was a lot of just telling him what he might want to get and strategizing with him on that. Again, I've been at that warehouse so many times. Troy got some new stuff, so it was exciting to see that. But it was more, I picked up a couple of cabinets, but I mostly went to help these other guys get cabinets.
Oh, that's nice. So you had a captive audience basically on the way up.
Yeah, for sure.
That's awesome. Let me think. The last question that I had come up with is that your projects, how do you prioritize them? Is there a committee or is it what you want? And then everybody else, like, how does everybody weigh in on that? Because I really don't know your entire team.
The team that works on the cabinets, we have our lead tech is Seth Young, who is just incredible. We have our out-of-house tech, Doug Fox, and then myself.
Okay.
To maintain all 659 games. And it's a 7-day-a-week thing. The goal is to always be at 100% running. And about a month ago, we were 3 away.
Oh, wow.
So it's constantly breathing in and out, though. So like Seth will be out sick. He was out sick for a week. And we ballooned up to having like 25 games down. Like I was still there every day working on stuff, but it's a constant thing. It's the easy stuff we knock out because it's quick and easy. The harder project stuff, everything's always being worked on. Like it's unacceptable. We don't ever want anything down.
Right.
Inevitably, whatever's down, somebody will come in that day and be like, "Oh, that's the game I wanted to play."
Oh no.
Even with 659 games, it's people say that stuff, and it bothers me because we have so many people. They're traveling in, and it's like I don't ever want to disappoint anybody. So the goal is to just get as many up and running as possible, as quickly as possible. We always try to have such a huge backstock of parts on hand.
Right.
And when we need something, we just jump right on it. It's usually I set the priority list,
Okay.
But it's definitely and kind of an everyman for himself. Like everybody works as hard as they possibly can to get everything running.
Nice. Let me think what else we got here. I don't know why there's a question that says, I hear your Sega has some interesting features on it. Knives. What is that about? I think there's a marquee that has a knife on it, maybe. I'm not sure what that's about. Maybe we'll skip past that question. I'm looking at the questions. Adam, by the way, is now going potty. Your 2 turkey shoots. How did you get them?
The first one I bought from Jonathan.
Right.
He had it in his collection and opted to eventually let it go, which was took a little bit of doing. It was one that he wasn't 100% sure that he wanted to get rid of, but when he finally decided it was all right, he let it go to us. The other one we picked up was out in Colorado. I've definitely changed how I buy games, and it's so hard. There's so few that we need. The want list is so short that I just look all over. Literally, I look all over the world. Like it's out of state, out of the country, and it just popped up on Facebook Marketplace.
What?
The guy wanted nothing for it. It was incredible, fully working, immaculate condition.
That's unbelievable.
And I tell people, I'm like, hey, this is worth more, like than what you're charging. And they're just like, just get it out of here. Like there's so many people that are just like, get this out of here. Do me the favor and just take this away.
Yes.
It's like, okay, I'll do it.
That. Gotta love it.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So you squeeze in all your last questions, I think? A little bit.
Sidebar questions all done, Doc.
All right. Well, I want to thank you for being on the show.
Yeah.
First of all, thank you so much for having us.
Stick around a little bit after we're done here, and we'll give you your payment. And
a pat on the back and a hearty hi ho.
But awesome. This has been really fun to have you on. This is Arcade Radio. You can subscribe to us on iTunes or SoundCloud, and we're on YouTube, too. You can even subscribe there. Incidentally, Mark, I got all the descriptions up to date.
Nice. I got to, upload the last couple of things into SoundCloud.
Yeah, and then we'll be all caught up on the iTunes as well. So thanks for listening in. We really appreciate you subscribing and listening into these shows. We hope to see you again in a couple weeks with a brand new episode. This is Arcade Radio, signing off. We should invent a curtain.
$20 to play all day. 640 plus arcade games. Largest arcade, Galloping Ghost.
There you go. Galloping Ghosts Arcade.com.
9415 Ogden Avenue, Brookfield, Illinois 60513. Plug.
Call Doc up. Ask him to open a new class on how to play guitar. Galloping Ghost Guitar Shop.
It's coming.
The triple G. We got the double R, you'll have the triple G. All right.
It's funny, we were showing the regulars. One of the regulars came down. I was giving him guitar lessons for a while.
See? It's bound to happen.
Yeah.
All right.